Hey, I'm Chappie with Forge Tactical for the Beretta Training Series. Today I'd like to cover emergency reloads. Emergency reloads are the reloads that we do when the gun has gone completely dry. We can practice for this in a bunch of different ways using dummy rounds in dry fire. When we get comfortable with the movement and make sure that we've eliminated all of our inefficiencies in our movement, then we can come out to the square range and actually shoot some drills. There's some things I want you to remember when you're working on your emergency reload. First, do not waste movement. Gunfighting is a game of millimeters and milliseconds. Make sure that you're taking advantage of every opportunity to not waste time or effort. That doesn't mean, however, I want you to go fast. I want you to do everything perfectly without interruption at whatever speed you can do that at. Speed will naturally result if you do it perfectly over and over and over again. You'll come to understand that you're moving faster and faster. The movements of the emergency reload are fairly simple. I'm going to do one live fire and talk you through it, and then I'll do a couple of them at speed so that you can stop and start and begin to practice dry while you're watching this, and then take these drills out to the range. So my first step is to engage my targets like I normally would using a good draw stroke. Now I can see I'm focusing hard on the front sight. I can see something's wrong, but generally I need to try to press the trigger again to understand that the gun's empty. As soon as I understand the gun's empty, I'm going to do a couple of things at the same time. I'm going to let go with this hand. I'm not going to move it, I'm just going to let go. And I'm going to make my finger straight off the trigger. Then I'm going to pull the gun into my hand using this finger and release the magazine. There's an advantage with the APX with the teardrop magazine release. You don't have to have your entire thumb on the mag release to let it go. You can hit it back here at the corner if you need to. It's designed that way so that you don't have to adjust your grip to release the magazine. So I made my finger straight, pulled the mag release into my thumb. This hand is going to move directly from the gun to my emergency reload pouch as that magazine is falling. I'm bringing the gun back into my vision, keeping my eye on the target. This also allows me to place my hands tight where I have the most dexterity and the most strength. So, come here, release the magazine. Grab this magazine. I'm not going to make a bunch of movement with it. All I'm going to do is get it out of the pouch and touch the tip of my finger to the tip of the bullet. The reason we do this is twofold. Number one, we make sure that the magazine is oriented in the correct direction. If I can feel the tip of the bullet, it means the bullet's pointed away from me, so it'll go into the gun correctly. Secondly, even with your eyes closed, if you make a circle with this hand and a finger with this hand, you can always find that even with your eyes closed. So I've got my gun up here where I can see. I'm not down here. I'm up. I can look through the gun and I can see the mag well in my peripheral vision. I'm not always going to be able to see the mag well if it's dark, if I've got night vision on, but this is a good repeatable position that I can find all the time. I've grabbed this magazine, tip of the bullet to the tip of my finger. I'm bringing it straight to the gun and finding the back of the magazine well with the back of the magazine. Once I've done that, straight from my mag pouch to the mag well, I insert it hard. Now, I can release the slide in one of two ways. The way I prefer is to use the slide stop. It's put there on the APX because as I'm tugging on the magazine, it's right where my thumb is. So all I have to do while I'm reacquiring my grip is drop the slide. If you choose to rack the slide to put the gun back into battery, it's the reason for these gross cocking serrations on the side of the APX. This allows you to get a good solid grip no matter what the conditions are, how wet it is. You can always find enough grip to pull it back and let it go. The most common issue I see with emergency reloads is getting good shots with the first string and then emergency reloading and getting terrible shots with the second string from the second magazine. The reason for this is our eye wants to focus on the target, and as soon as we bring those sights out of our vision and bring the gun into our workspace, we lose sight of the front sight. We begin looking at the target. We reload our gun, we come back out, and we don't shift our focus back to the front sight. That needs to be a conscious step every time you reload the pistol. Every time you make the pistol ready, everything you do that involves bringing the gun out of your sight and then back into your sight, you need to consciously force yourself to refocus on the front sight. That will eliminate a lot of issues with second string misses. That's a good solid drill. You could probably kill a half hour every range training session. Doing that, once you get those skills down, start timing it, and then try to improve your times without pushing yourself too hard. If you move so fast that it comes off the rails, you need to slow down. Smooth, perfect, uninterrupted movement is more important than speed. Thanks for watching the Beretta Training Series video on emergency reloads. I'm Chappie with Forge Tactical. Thanks for watching.